everyone. Thank you for joining us for another WOW webinar. My name is Allison Hunter. I'm the Director of Marketing here at WhereWhere, and I'm very excited to have our Senior Search Manager, Jay Markwood, with us today to talk through some simple ways to optimize your website to reach a wider search audience. Just so you know, we will email out this presentation and a recording either today or tomorrow. We'll also post it to our blog. If you have any questions throughout, just submit them through the chat box, and we'll try to get to a couple today. We are going to cover a lot of material in just 30 minutes, so in the event that we don't get to your questions, we'll follow up with you directly. I also encourage you to tweet with us using the hashtag WowWebinar. And with that, I'm going to pass it over to Jay.
Hello, my name is Jay Markwood. Again, thanks, Allison. I am the Senior Search Manager for WhereWhere. We do SEO, we do pay-per-click, we do Facebook advertising, and Amazon. Thank you again for joining us. Let's get started. A little bit about WhereWhere. We've been in existence for 19 years. We develop, build, and customize personalized websites for e-commerce and brand building. We specialize in email campaigns, cloud-based solutions, mobile applications, data integration and analytics, and of course, SEO and pay-per-click. So again, we a big, large group of clients, so we can definitely address and meet your needs for any kind of e-com, brand building, anything else digital. All right, let's dig into the SEO, or search engine optimization itself. What is search optimization? In a broad sense, it focuses on the growing visibility of your organic, in other words, your native search engine listings in Google and Bing itself. As you can see in this slide, if I was looking for blue shoes, you'll see the top where the images are of 6 blue shoes. That is Google Shopping. That is a form of paid advertising itself. And below that, you'll see the green text showing ad. That is a pay-per-click ad for Google itself. And the red box are the organic listings. Those are something you don't pay for to list, or when someone clicks on it, you don't have to pay for that as well. And search engine optimization is about building a website that's friendly for both the bots, Google and Bing, and also friendly for your end user consumer itself. Organic search leads as the primary channel for most website traffic itself. If you look in your analytics, whether you're doing Google or Omniture or something else, you'll see probably the largest channel of traffic is organic. Paid and email and referral and social should all be below that. If not, you're missing a great opportunity. Why is it important? Because everyone now uses Google or Bing online as a way to answer their questions and for search queries. This is from Moz itself, where it says that Google receives over 57,000 searches per second on any given day. So if you have a digital presence, you need to optimize so that you can be shown in Google and Bing. All right, SEO basics. SEO is a full-time job for myself and the rest of our team here, but let's level set here and describe exactly what are the SEO basics itself. It's a good idea to think about SEO or your website as a jigsaw puzzle, say of a painting. All the pieces, when you dump them out of the box, you can't tell exactly what the image is. As you fit each one of the pieces together, you slowly get a picture, the picture forms of what the puzzle is. And that's what SEO is. It's fitting all these different pieces of the puzzle together so that the search engine can tell what your website and your individual pages are a picture of. First component that we're going to talk about for SEO is content. Yeah, content is the actual wording, the script on your pages itself. It's not the technical backend that the bot sees. It's what you see, the consumer sees itself. And you think of high quality. Don't try and keyword stuff it. Don't try and be too jargony. Talk in simple, clear language itself. Make it indexable for the bot. When you say indexable, can the bot crawl it and get a good idea of what's on that page or on that website? Also, keep it fresh. Google does timestamp each one of your individual pages itself, and if it sees that current websites are updating their content on a regular basis, it will show them higher in the search engine results pages itself. Incorporate images and videos because consumers like that, and it drives time on site and pages consumed longer on the site itself, which is a ranking factor for Google. Keyword research. You've probably heard a lot about this if you're new to SEO or if you are in SEO stuff. And what this boils down to is you want to understand what keywords or what search queries consumers are using to find the content that aligns on your website itself. If you have blue shoes, that is a keyword. That's a 2 keyword, but it's more about blue suede shoes, blue athletic shoes, blue something. So that's why it's very important to go and do keyword research and see what are people searching for, what are they searching for, and who else shows up for that keyword. The keyword process is fairly basic in a broad sense. It does get detailed once you get into it. But again, look at your website, look at your individual pages, and understand and try to figure out what keyword is relevant for my site and for my landing pages itself. Search for that keyword in Google or Bing and understand which websites are ranking for that keyword itself. And try and peel back the layers of the onion and see why are they ranking for it. Is it their content? Are they trying to sell something? Are they blogging about it? Are they providing information? SEO, if you optimize your site completely 100%, which is never possible, but say, for instance, you do, it'll take a while for the Google and Bing bot to actually move you up in the rankings. We always tell our clients between 1 month to 6 months in order to move up to get on the first page itself. No guarantees, but based on best practices, that's what we try to do. A quick way to do this, though, is to buy a Google Ads campaign. We can run a budget of probably $250 a month with a couple keywords and a campaign and underneath the ad group, and that'll give you immediate results to see how your pages are relevant, ranking, and the bounce rate for that keyword. So it gives you instantaneous ranking and feedback for if you want to continue to optimize for that organically for your pages and your website. Once you have those keywords from pay-per-click, the KPIs for those, create a list for each one of your different sections or categories and start optimizing for that. Keyword research tools that we use and we highly recommend that you try also, and some are free and some you do have to pay for. WordStream is a great place to start and learn about SEO and pay-per-click. Google Ads Keyword Planner tool. Again, Google Ads will ask you to put a credit card in, but you don't have to set up a spend or a budget. They just want your credit card to make sure you're a valid person or entity, and then you can start using our Keyword Planner tool for free. Google Trends is a free tool, and it's very helpful if you have seasonal products. For instance, if you sell Christmas or holiday items, it'll show you when the traffic will start picking up, so you can optimize for seasonal things on a quarterly basis. Microsoft Bing Ads Intelligence is the same as the Google Ads Keyword Planner, and it gives you a little bit of different KPIs based on the audience that uses the Microsoft versus the Google search engine tool. And WordTracker has a free basic keyword tool as well. Keyword usage. Again, a lot of people back 10 years ago would keyword stuff their pages. They would put white font on white background and put the keyword all over the page so that the bot would see it and say, oh my God, you've got 30 times this keyword on this page. Google got pretty smart about that and stopped it, and they call that black hat thing now. So now the recommendation, this is from Moz, which is a great SEO tool, is to repeat or have your keyword for that landing page one time in your title. We recommend also one time in your headline, 2 to 3 times in the content itself on the page, and one time in your meta description. So all this should be aligned just like the jigsaw puzzle we had talked about, but do not overdo it because that'll be a ding on you from Google. Now here's another example, using tags and alt text. Alt text is a fancy way of telling the bots what the image or videos on your landing page is. A bot doesn't have eyes, so it can't see, on this example, that there's a panda juggling red balls on the page. So you would have to put in a simple code on your back end saying that this is a juggling panda or a panda juggling red balls. so the bot can do that and use that for indexation. Again, that's another piece of the jigsaw puzzle. Title tags. If you're on any website, if you take your cursor and hover over that tab, you will see the title of that website or landing page highlighted itself. In this example, for this one, it's for MudPie, one of our large clients, and their title is MudPie, newborn babies, clothes, Williams apparel, baby gift ideas. This basically is telling the bot what MudPie is about. And since this is their homepage, we always recommend leading with your brand first, but for subcategory pages, have the brand at the end and put your strongest keywords up front. Another example of title tags below, we already talked about the MudPie, is Target's landing page for a Canon Rebel T6 camera. Now, as you can see, it's Target's at the very end, the brand for the website, but the actual strongest keywords are up front and very descriptive, and it tells you and the bot what exactly this page is going to have on it. Again, each page should have a unique title for it. If not, the bot has to decide, if someone's looking for a Canon EOS Rebel T6, what page to pop up in the search engine results pages itself. So you're missing an opportunity. If you have 5 duplicate pages, you're only going to get one chance to show that. If you have 5 unique pages, you have 5 opportunities to do that stuff. Also, it's important to keep the character limit between under 60. If not, Google will truncate it, and you're missing the ability for the bot and the consumer to see exactly what's on that page. And does include your keyword. Again, we always recommend leading with the strongest keywords up front. Meta description. This is the second component, or the second probably biggest piece of the jigsaw puzzle. It's not a ranking factor according to Google, but it's a complementary ranking factor because it tells the person, or it's a call to action to the person looking on the search engine results pages to click through. So click-through rate is a ranking factor, and this helps click-through rate itself. So for this one, for the Target Canon EOS Rebel, it tells you to find the product information, rating, and review for that. Again, it includes the keywords, Canon EOS Rebel T6. This also needs to be unique, compelling, and easy to read for each one of your users. It also all has to be under 155 characters. Again, Google will truncate it if it's not, and it does include your keywords. Alt tags. We talked about this. Alt tags is a fancy name for what is the picture of. So you go in your backend, and it's a simple code you put in. It should be on your CMS, and you describe. In this case itself, and it's highlighted in yellow, it's telling you that this picture of the Doritos bag is Doritos tortilla chips, nacho cheese, the actual size, and single serving bag. Watch your character limit on this so you don't get truncated, and then does each image on your website have this? This is a great thing. So you want your title, your meta description, your auto image tags all to align with your strong keyword for that page. And we touched on this a little bit, duplicate content. When Google bot or Bing bot crawls your website, it'll identify pages that are similar or almost exactly alike. And this happens a lot because you have a custom search function in your CMS that replicates your actual landing page. For this one, for the blue widgets itself. What you want to do, and there's 2 common ways to do it, is have a 301 redirect, which is a permanent redirect that tells the bot, if it does have this URL, to redirect to the URL that you want. I recommend using a Rel canonical, and that's a simple code, again, that you put on the back end that tells the bot, yes, we realize we have 5 pages that have duplicate content, but this is the one we prefer. So it tells the bot, my priority for this page is 1 versus the other ones are 0.9, 0.8, 0.7, and so forth. And the bot knows that you want this one popped up, but still indexes the other pages as well. URL structure. This is something that it gets a little more technical, but I'll try and make it as high level as possible. The URL for this, and again, the URL is the actual page address. You'll see a lot of times that it'll be jargony. For this one itself, it's very descriptive. If you're a consumer and you look at what's populated in the Google search engine results pages, and you see 5 things, which are usually above the fold, you'll be able to see their URLs. If the URL is jargony, then you're missing the opportunity to tell the consumer what's on that page beyond the title. So the URL should replicate the title and the meta description and all image tags. This one is a great way to show you that this is the URL for the P Canon EOS Rebel T6 1855 kit. Perfect. It aligns with the title. It aligns with the meta description. And well-written URLs can serve as their own anchor text as well. Anchor text is the hyperlink wording that you use on websites. So if you see something and you're looking at content and something is in blue, that's a hyperlink, and whatever the name is given to that hyperlink is called the anchor text itself. So again, if you look at this example for Moz, the one on the left saying, check this out, IMDb, title, and then it's got a bunch of letters and numbers. That doesn't tell you anything about what's on this page. If you look at the example on the right, it does tell you. It's about dog birthday cake recipes in a blog. That's your opportunity to click-through rate. Another example of this is Target's table lamps. So their title is Table Lamps Target. Their URL is telling you it's Table Lamps Lighting Home Decor. Perfect. The N56 thing, that's just a minor thing. I still would give this a 9 out of a 10 for a ranking. And again, your meta description is telling you shop Target for table lamps you love. This is a category page. So this is a perfect example of great optimization. In URL structure, here's what we give as the 5 points to consider. Are they simple, concise, relevant, compelling, and accurate as possible? Does it tell your consumer what it is? Is it shorter than 2,000 characters? If not, Google's going to truncate again on this one as well. Is it in the ideal format? So you want your home page up front / the category keyword. So for that would be lighting for Target, and then the subcategory, which would be table lamps, and then the primary, which would be, say, brass table lamp or keyword. So again, each one is in breadcrumb. So you want that to flow succinctly and make sense to the consumer and to the bot itself. It's great structure. And then are you using all lowercase letters? Uppercase letters may cause duplicate page issues, and some people try and do a title thing where the first letter is capitalized and the rest are lowercase. Bad idea too. Try and keep everything lowercase. And then are you using hyphens to separate words as opposed to underscores? Google doesn't like underscores, it likes hyphens. Local SEO, if there's people attending for this, local SEO has replaced the Yellow Pages. No one looks at the hard format of Yellow Pages anymore. They search on their mobile phone or their desktop laptop. And again, this is another reference for Moz. 80% of consumers have used a search engine in the past week to find local business information. I know I do it myself if I want to look to see what's shown at the movies or where I can order food from a takeout place and what their hours and locations are. A couple big components, and this is an example of our local SEO. Even though we are nationwide, we do have a local SEO effort itself. And you can see on ours, it'll tell you, it'll give us our brand symbol itself, an actual map, our address, our hours of operations, and our phone numbers itself. And then we also have referrals and rankings from Google and from Facebook. And this is usually shown in the search engine results pages on the right-hand margin side. So again, the reason why local SEO is important is it's taking up real estate that didn't used to be on the search engine results page. So it behooves you to have both local SEO and nationwide SEO efforts. For local SEO, the components are same as regular SEO. You want your title tags, meta descriptions, headers, page content, everything else lined up. The big important thing here and the difference is it's going to be the NAP. The name, address, and phone number has to be consistent on every page and has to be the same on every page. Google doesn't like it if you have different phone numbers and addresses, unless you have numerous locations, and then that can be differentiated with a /. You also want to be able to show testimonials and show credibility, reviews from Facebook, Google, Yelp, anything else that can be tied into that. So, and again, make the link structure as easy as possible. So if you do have 2 locations or more, you want the locations / city 1, and then city 2 and city 3, and so forth. And then once you set this up, and this will be in Google My Business page itself, they'll send you an actual postcard to that address to verify that you are located at that address so we can avoid scammers. And then you fill out that postcard, send it back, and they verify, and then you have your Google My Business, and you can go in there and optimize that like you would any other kind of website CMS. And this is our, again, a screenshot of our landing page for our Google My Business. It shows images, which we recommend in itself, videos, more information, the map, all the contact information that's important for both you, or the Googlebot, and you, the consumer. Another component of local SEO is there are companies out there like Newstar that are called Directories, which will take your information and publish it beyond Google and Bing. Very helpful and get you a broader reach and audience beyond just the big two search engines. Okay, so you've done all your homework. You've optimized your titles, your meta descriptions, your alt image tags. You set up your Google My Business. How do you measure success of this? Our recommendation, you set up an account on Google Analytics. It's free for the base package itself. Put the code on every one of your pages on your website and start getting a baseline and tracking and looking through the channels. Most of the channels will be organic, as we talked about, paid search if you're running a campaign for that, referrals, traffic coming from other sites that are referring you, social, it could be Facebook or Twitter, and then direct traffic are people who are actually typing in a URL or have it bookmarked, or it's coming from somewhere else that Google can't tell. Here's the screenshots of showing ours itself. The right-hand one is showing the organic traffic in the landing page that's coming to it itself. So once you get, say, if you get 1,000 visitors that go to your organic channel, what you want to do is peel back the layers of the onion and look at that and say, okay, we've got 1,000 coming from, but where are the actual sources? The Google Analytics will tell you your largest sources from URLs where your organic traffic is coming down to itself. They'll do the source and then your landing page. And then this is a screenshot. We haven't talked about this, but Google has a tool called Google Search Console. So we've just talked about Google Analytics. I highly recommend you set up a Google Search Console page too. It is free, so put the code on your website. And this is a great way to see what queries, or in other words, keywords, are driving organic traffic to your site. In this example for us, where is the #1 query driving the highest number of impressions and clicks, and one of our click-through rates, and what position we are. This is extremely important because the Search Console will allow you to go back up to 18 months now. They just revamped their platform to show how your positioning is changing. Are you on page 1 or are you on page 2? And if you are dropping, immediately go in and figure out why and who is replacing you in the Search Console or in the search query. Now what? So you've optimized in your basic steps. You're starting to measure. What do you do next? Okay, so a lot of stuff to do, and everyone has limited resources. Here's how we kind of describe what effort or resources it takes for each one of the different components. Link structure, these are links that are linking to your website itself, and to figure it out. So if you can see if other blogs or companies are linking to you, you want to make sure their anchor text actually says something. We had this with one of our clients. It was Yamaha Wave Runner. The people were putting in the anchor text is just some kind of jargon. We had them go back and change it to a Yamaha Wave Runner, and the click-through rate went up instantly. Content, depending on who you have on staff, great content and updated content will drive a lot of traffic because Google sees you're doing that. Depending on how technical your website is, it should be simple as just writing a product description, or it could be a blog, which will take more time, which is an effort of 3. URL structures, this we put as a 5 of something you're going to need extra help in because it's a lot of pages on your website, and keeping that consistent and making sure the URLs are not duplicate would take some technical work, which we specialize in, or any agency would. Employing local SEO techniques 2 to 3, depending on how many locations you have. But again, the biggest effort, I think, is waiting for that postcard and filling it out and getting it back and then setting up stuff. And then measuring success, your baseline and getting just a good idea of where your traffic is coming from is about a 2. Once you start getting more technical and looking at landing pages, search queries, how the things are coming in, it gets a little more technical and a 3. Top tools that we use, again, for other things, moz.com, you've seen us reference that before. They are like the leader for SEO. Rand Siskin used to run that. He does another website now. But go to moz.com. They have some free tools, and then you can sign up for a monthly subscription as well. SEMrush is a great tool to find competitive intel. They'll tell you what pages are ranking on your website for certain keywords, and it'll tell you if you're not ranking or if you're below fold 1, who is ranking for that keyword. They do have a free trial, and then they have a fairly cheap monthly subscription for that as well. SpyFu, from my understanding, is they use a SEMrush API backend. They do offer some things unique, but I wouldn't recommend using both. Try both and see which one you like the best. Screaming Frog is a crawler from the UK. Highly recommend. I think it's like $150 a year, unlimited usage, and we use this in-house all the time. And we'll talk about that later, because what you want to do is crawl your website at least on a monthly basis to see if you have duplicate titles, meta descriptions, odd image tags, broken links, and so forth. Search Engine Land is a website that gives you SEO and pay-per-click and social information and training. Highly recommend that you subscribe and read that on a regular basis. And Google.com Webmasters, that's the Google Search Engine Console. Okay, and so this comes to the end of it. And what we're offering for our participants of this webinar is a SEO audit at a discounted price. Again, we do this for our clients on a regular basis, and we're offering for participants of this webinar for a price of $4,900 to go through all your site, give you a baseline, and tell you what you need to fix. Great tool, easy way for you to figure out and peel back the layers of the onion for that. So, any questions so far?
So we actually got a number of questions. I did want to quickly note on the offer, because I believe it's cut off a little on the screen, that special discount pricing is going to expire September 30th. So if you are interested, or if you have any questions about how it can help you, just email our sales team at sales@whereaware.com. We will not be able to get through all 10 questions because we are right at time, but I'm going to go ahead and grab 3 or so. I think this is a good kicking off question from Madison. She wants to know, how do I know the current state of my website's SEO?
Yeah, great question, because and we hear this all the time. What I recommend, first of all, crawl your website. Use the Screaming Frog. They actually will allow you to crawl 10,000 URLs for free. So crawl your website to see, and it will tell you, do you have titles on every one of your page? Are you missing titles? Are the titles too short? Are they too long? Are they duplicate? And then it'll tell you the same information about your meta descriptions as well, and your alt image tags. Another great thing it will tell you is if you have 302 or 307 redirects, which are temporary redirects, you want to convert those to 301 permanent redirects. And a huge thing it'll tell you is your response codes, which are 404s, page not found. If Google sees a lot of 404s or 404s that continue on a monthly basis, they're going to ding you, because page not found is a bad user experience for them, and they're not going to show that URL in their search engine results pages because of the high bounce rate itself.
Okay, great. So this is kind of on a similar theme. What are the exact KPIs I should track to make sure that my SEO is successful?
Okay, yeah, we talked about this, and I know we covered a lot of information, but yeah, get on Google Analytics. It's free. Put the code on each one of your website pages itself, and look at where what percent of your traffic is organic versus paid versus social versus referral versus direct versus email itself, and get that baseline, and then look at it over month over month. See, visits are users are unique visitors. Sessions are people who come back, so it could be some person who hit your website 5 times in the past month itself. New users are people who've never been there or don't have a cookie on your website itself. You want to look at that. You want to look to see if the bounce rate. A bounce rate is a big indicator for Google. If someone hits your page from a search engine results listing and then bounces immediately off it, it tells Google that it's not a very good page because people aren't staying on it very long. So track your bounce rate and see if it's going up or down. So pages per session, average session duration, what are your #1 landing pages, and then figure out if those are fully optimized. And then you can also look at the bounce rate by each one of your pages and say, okay, why is this page a higher bounce rate than other pages? And it gives you a good idea of why, whether you should optimize it or not. Second, add Google Search Console code to your website. Again, it's another free tool. They can tell you what search queries are driving traffic to your website.
Okay, this will be the last question we take. It's from Sean. He says, I have a pretty small team. What should I do every month for SEO?
Okay. Crawl your website, again, using the SEMrush or Screaming Frog or any of the other tools to see if some of your new pages or stuff you didn't get to in the past month has duplicate titles, missing titles, titles too short, too long, same for meta descriptions. Do you have new 404 pages? Go in and look in your Google Search Console. Are you dropping in position or gaining in position? So, are there new keywords that you're starting to rank for that you should probably reevaluate your titles and meta descriptions and your content on your URLs to update them as well, or expand those categories and sections. And also, we didn't talk about this, but have someone review your robots text and your XML sitemap files. When the bot hits your website, it looks at your robots text first to see what it should index and what it shouldn't, and then it immediately goes to your sitemap and it prefers the XML format, and that will tell it what priority you want it to crawl. Because a bot, again, has a crawl budget. It can't spend all day crawling your website because it's got 50 million other ones to go to. So this is a good way to tell the bot which pages you want indexed and prioritize as much as possible. And then, take advantage of our SEO audit. It's a great way to get your baseline going for a very reasonable cost.
Okay, thanks a lot, Jay, and thank you everybody who's just stayed with us this whole time. I saw a couple of your questions are very specific, so we'll again reach out to you directly, and we will be sending out this recording either today or tomorrow, and it'll also be posted to our blog. We try to do a different webinar every month, so we hope you have a great day today, and you also stay tuned for next month's webinar.